Hey, what's good, y'all? We back with another video, man. And today, I will be making my 2025 Royal Rumble predictions. I will be predicting every match on the card that is confirmed so far. Making my predictions for the winners of both the men's and the women's Royal Rumble. And surprise entrants who I think will make their surprise returns or surprise debuts. Let's get right into it. First up, before I even get to the Royal Rumble matches, I want to take a look at the first match that was announced pretty much on the card, which is Cody Rhodes defending his WWE Undisputed Championship against Kevin Owens. Now, this feud has been going on for a couple of months, and Cody Rhodes recently brought back the old winged eagle. Me personally, I didn't think that the Winged Eagle was going to be around for that long. I thought he was just going to bring it back for one night and one night only. But they're using it in this storyline with him and Kevin Owens. And I got to say this, Kevin Owens so far has been doing great. His run and his heel run so far has been amazing. This has been one of the best Kevin Owens runs in recent history. But I just don't think it's going to be enough for him to take out Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. Now, this match has a stipulation. This match is a ladder match. And Kevin Owens is known for his ladder matches. You know what I'm saying? Back in the ROH days. I'm really excited for this matchup. I like the fact that this match is now a ladder match. It brings a lot of interest because I really didn't want to see this match be another just a regular singles one-on-one match. So this stipulation makes it a lot more interesting. But I still think that Cody Rhodes will retain the WWE Championship. I just can't see Kevin Owens walking into WrestleMania with the title. I just can't see it. I know that I said that Kevin Owens, his run was great, and it is. He's had a great run so far in this heel, since he's turned heel. But I just can't see him beating Cody Rhodes and going on to WrestleMania. I just think there are a lot more better and a lot more compelling matchups you can make at WrestleMania involving Cody Rhodes. You could potentially do, and this is going to lead to later on in this video, can potentially do something like Cody Rhodes and John Cena. You could do the rematch between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Rhodes versus CM Punk. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a lot of options for Cody Rhodes. It's a lot of. I can see Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania with the title a lot more than I can see Kevin Owens going in WrestleMania with the championship. Honestly, I don't really see. I don't know what Kevin Owens does at WrestleMania, but we're not at that point yet right now. We're talking about Royal Rumble. I'm predicting Cody Rhodes defeats Kevin Owens to retain the WWE Championship. Now, moving on. Now, the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match is really jam-packed, man. It's a lot of guys confirmed so far for this matchup. You got guys like LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn. I mean, and just a couple of guys listed, that's confirmed. I don't know who the surprise entrant is going to be in this Royal Rumble match, and we don't even know all the confirmed competitors in this matchup. So, I mean, this got to be one of the most stacked Royal Rumbles of all time. There are so many options in this Royal Rumble match that could win, man. A lot of guys. I mean, you can make a case for Cena. You can make a case for a guy like CM Punk. You can make a case for Roman Reigns. I mean, hell, even somebody would. And I mean, hell, you could even do Sami Zayn, have Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble. But me personally, I've put it down to two options. And here are my two options right here. CM Punk. Now I have CM Punk winning this Royal Rumble match, as I've made a video earlier last year, stating that I predict that the Royal Rumble winner will be CM Punk. I predicted that CM Punk will win the Royal Rumble this year. But with the recent events with John Cena and him announcing that he will be retiring, this will be his last run in WWE, he will be retiring soon. It's got me wondering that, maybe there's a chance that John Cena could win this Royal Rumble matchup. There's a real possibility that John Cena could win. Now, it really boils down to what story matters the most, because ever since CM Punk came back, CM Punk has been claiming that he's going to main event WrestleMania. And the only way to really main event WrestleMania is to win the Royal Rumble. You got options like winning the Elimination Chamber and shit like that, but the main way to main event WrestleMania is winning the Royal Rumble. And at first, me going into this, I'm thinking CM Punk has to win this Royal Rumble matchup. But it's like, you can also do John Cena. You can also have John Cena, that story, him in his final year in wrestling. One last Super Cena run. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't mind a one last Super Cena run. Him winning the Royal Rumble and going on to win the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. Now, let's say CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. I can't really see CM Punk facing Cody Rhodes. I can't see CM Punk facing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And here's why. It wouldn't really make much sense. I mean, they haven't really had much interaction together leading up to this. And I think it would just be so random. Something like that, a match between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, they has to have some type of build up. You still could do CM Punk versus Rhodes at Mania, have Punk win the Rumble, build that storyline up. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Now, if CM Punk wins, I would suggest CM Punk faces Gunther. CM Punk should face Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, WWE, they've had plans for CM Punk to face Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, I believe, at Survivor Series. They didn't go that route. I don't know if it was confirmed, but I've heard rumors. But they didn't go that route. They went with did Gunther even defend his title that night? I'm not sure. But they didn't go that route between him and CM Punk. I think you do that at WrestleMania. I think if you do have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble this year, you have CM Punk versus Gunther at WrestleMania. That could be main eventing. That is a main event worthy match. I don't know, with all the other matches that they might have lined up for WrestleMania, I don't know if that match closes the show. Maybe one night. I know they do 2 nights of WrestleMania now. So maybe CM Punk versus Gunther could main event night 1. But those are my options for CM Punk. Now for John Cena, if say CM Punk doesn't win, my runner-up is John Cena. John Cena, I mean, he has a lot of options here. I think he could either face Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, which honestly, I wouldn't mind that. Or he could face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I feel like if John Cena wins this Rumble, he has so many options he can do. He could either go to Gunther or Rhodes. Now, if he were to face Gunther, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, he's been going against foreign heels his entire career. This is Super Cena. If there's anybody to beat Gunther right now, and especially at WrestleMania, if there's anybody to take the title away from Gunther, that would make sense to me. Besides CM Punk, is John Cena, man. And I guarantee you, they would not receive no type of backlash if they were to put the title on John Cena. If they were to have John Cena beat Gunther, they would have no backlash because everybody wants to see John Cena have one last Super Cena run. Now, say they don't do John Cena versus Gunther. You have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. You could do, even if John Cena don't beat Cody Rhodes, that could be like a passing of the torch between John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. That's a story you could do. The passing of the torch between John Cena and Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes is the face of. He's like 1A, 1B with Roman Reigns as the face of WWE. But he's like the modern day John Cena. You could have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I'm not saying you have to have John Cena beat Cody Rhodes. If he does, I would not be surprised, and I really wouldn't be that mad, to be honest with you. I really want to see John Cena with at least one last title run, major title run in WWE, whether it's the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, man, this is who I'm predicting to win the Men's Royal Rumble: CM Punk. If not CM Punk, runner up John Cena. Now moving on to the Women's Royal Rumble match, I have Io Sky. Now, Io Sky has been on an incredible run as of recently, and she's been red hot. And me personally, the women's roster right now has a lot going on, and a lot of their top stars are all occupied at the moment. And I can't really see somebody like Nia Jax winning the Rumble. She just lost her belt. Bayley just won the Royal Rumble last year. The options for the Women's Royal Rumble winner are very, very limited. But my options and my picks are Io Sky. If not Io Sky, my runner-up is Charlotte. And this is going to spoil who I have surprising as a surprising entrant later in the video. But Io Sky would not be a bad choice to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I mean, the last time we've had a foreign Women's Royal Rumble winner was Asuka. And Io Sky has ties with Asuka. They're friends and stuff like that. Io Sky is an amazing talent. One of the best women's wrestlers on the fucking planet. Triple H is a huge Io Sky fan because he was booking her like a monster in NXT. I can really see Io Sky winning this year's Royal Rumble, going on to face possibly somebody like maybe Tiffany Stratton, or I really wouldn't mind her against either Tiffany Stratton or Rhea Ripley. I feel like she could put on a great match between either of those two competitors. My runner-up choice, Charlotte, is an interesting one because we've seen, guys in the past return at the Royal Rumble and also win that same night. John Cena did it. I think it was 2008. Edge. I believe those were like the only two that did it. It could be more if I'm not mistaken, but off the top of my head, that the two people that returned the same night and won the Royal Rumble, John Cena and Edge. You could do the same thing with Charlotte, and I really wouldn't be that upset with that because Charlotte, she's a big name in the women's division. She hasn't been around for a long time, and I understand that people get tired of Charlotte. She's been like the female Triple H of the women's division. They've gave her so many titles, so many runs with the belt. People get tired of it easily. But I mean, we haven't seen her in months. And if they don't really have an option right now, as from anybody from the active women's roster, why not give it to Charlotte? Why not have Charlotte return at Royal Rumble, go on to win the Royal Rumble match, and face off for the title at WrestleMania? The last time we've seen Charlotte win the Royal Rumble was, I believe, 2020. But my first option will be Io Sky. I would rather prefer Io Sky to win it over Charlotte, but if Io Sky does not win, I wouldn't mind them giving it to Charlotte if she returns at the Royal Rumble. Now, moving on to who I think will make their surprise entrance in both the men's and women's Rumble. I'm going to start off with the men's first. And I got a boatload of names here. First, I'm going to start off with Joe Hendry. Now, Joe Hendry recently just won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt, defeating Nick Nemeth. Finally, because I've been wanting Joe Hendry to become the TNA champion for a very, very long time. He's been over as hell for all of 2024, basically. And I feel like heading into 2025, he's going to have a great year. And him defeating Nick Nemeth further is solidifying that he will make a Royal Rumble appearance. Especially with this TNA and WWE partnership. You know, you've got to think that, you know, they're going to want a lot of TNA talent featured at the Royal Rumble and on NXT and shit like that. And last year, we've seen the TNA champion. I believe we've seen the TNA world champion at the Royal Rumble last year. But I know for sure we've seen Jordan Grace, the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, last year at the time. She made a entrance at the Royal Rumble, in the Women's Royal Rumble. She made a surprise debut. And I could definitely see that happening this year. Especially, like I said, with the new partnership between WWE and TNA. So Joe Hendry is a guy that I can really see making his way down that ramp at the Royal Rumble. I feel like he would get a huge pop because he's over as hell. Like I said, another guy I can see making his Royal Rumble debut, Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander is another TNA guy who can go in the ring, one of the best talents in the world. I feel like he should be featured at the Royal Rumble as well if they can get him in. Nick Nemeth will be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting because he's been in TNA not for long, but he's just recently left WWE. And that would be actually really, really cool to see Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, back in WWE in the Royal Rumble match. He doesn't even really have to change his name again. Like, he can just remain as Nick Nemeth, and I feel like that would be fine. Him making his Royal Rumble return, I feel like that would be pretty fucking cool. But yeah, man, I definitely do see as my first three options either one of these guys, maybe all three of these guys, maybe just two of these guys, but definitely at least one of these TNA talents, Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, or Nick Nemeth, I can definitely see making a Royal Rumble appearance. Now, moving on, Trick Williams from NXT. He just recently lost his NXT title to Obafemi. I can definitely see him making his debut, main roster debut, at the Royal Rumble, in the Royal Rumble. I feel like he would get a great pop as well. I think it's time to move Trick Williams up to the main roster. He's been in NXT for a very, very long time, so I feel like you can either have him move up to the main roster as he's debuting at the Royal Rumble, after he debuted at the Royal Rumble, or you could wait a little while and debut him after. But I definitely see Trick Williams making an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Now, moving on. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. He recently got hurt. I got injured in a match on SmackDown. And it was very, very unexpected because he literally just returned. That was crazy as hell. But he's been out for a while now. I could definitely see AJ Styles making an appearance at the Royal Rumble to get him back in action. And you know, saying insert him into whatever feuds you want to put him in. But I can definitely see AJ Styles making a return at the Royal Rumble. Ricky Starks. Now, at the time of making this video, I've just recently seen that Tony Khan has basically rejected Ricky Starks' request for his release from AEW. So Tony Khan basically said that Ricky Starks cannot leave AEW on his own terms. It's kind of a sticky situation for Ricky Starks because Tony Khan is not even using the guy. He's not even being featured on television. So it's like, why do you have this guy on your roster if you're not even going to use him? It really doesn't make sense to me. The only reason I can really see why Tony Khan is doing this is because he doesn't want Ricky Starks to debut at the Royal Rumble. He doesn't. I don't even think he wants Ricky Starks to be in WWE right now, because at this point WWE is on fire. It's on fire. It's on Netflix. They have a lot going on right now. AEW, on the other hand, and I'm an AEW fan, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not really doing the best. It's not doing the best at all. Honestly, it's at one of its worst periods ever, and I hope they can get out of it. But man, it sucks for Ricky Starks because it's like he's really just collecting dust on the AEW roster. Why is Tony Khan rejecting his request to be released? He's not even doing anything, man. The guy just wants to work. He wants to get paid. I think he's still getting paid, but he's just getting paid to sit home, man, which is not a bad deal. But it's like, fuck. It's like he could literally be in WWE right now. Pentagon Jr. is in WWE. Ricky Starks could have been where Pentagon Jr. is at right now if it wasn't for Tony Khan. And I understand, listen, you don't want your talent to go over to your rival, but it's like you're not even using them, so what the fuck is the point? So I wanted Ricky Starks to make a surprise debut at the Royal Rumble. I even predicted it to happen because I thought that eventually he will get his release from AEW and he would be signed to either NXT or WWE. But it looks to me that Tony Khan is just not going to let that happen right now. So I don't think that Ricky Starks makes his appearance at the Royal Rumble. I guess he just has to wait a little bit longer till his contract is officially up. But yeah, now I have a really, really wild card right here. This is a completely just a left field prediction right here. But The Rock could definitely make a surprise entrance. I just find it very, very weird that The Rock returned as like a babyface when he left last time. He left as a heel. He left as the final boss Rock. He warned Cody Rhodes that he was coming for him. He also returned at Bad Blood, stared down with Roman Reigns, and then he returns at Raw premiere on Netflix as a babyface with all smiles and shit. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. This has to be some type of storyline or curveball that The Rock is throwing at us right now, because it just all feels so fucking weird. Now, this could make sense as if he makes a surprise appearance at the Men's Royal Rumble match. That would be crazy as hell, man. Having The Rock be in the Royal Rumble it's already stacked as it is, but The Rock being inside the Royal Rumble would be newsworthy, man. I say I'm more so leaning that will not happen, more so and it will happen, but I'm still going to throw that prediction out there. That is 50-50 that The Rock is going to make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. That's completely left field, but for the majority of these guys up here, I can definitely see making an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Moving on to the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, first off, who I have on this list, Jordynne Grace. We've seen Jordynne Grace make a surprise entrance at last year's Royal Rumble. At the time, she was a Knockouts Women's Champion. This year, she's not, but I can still see that. I can still see Jordynne Grace making an appearance at the Royal Rumble. She's one of TNA's most featured stars. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And I feel like she's going to be signed either on NXT or WWE pretty soon. So Jordynne Grace, in my opinion, is like a lock for sure, who I think is going to make a surprise entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, moving on to the women who recently defeated her for the Knockouts Championship, Masha Slamovich. Now, I haven't really seen much of her matches. I'm not really too familiar with her, but like I said, last year we've seen the Knockouts champion be featured in the Women's Royal Rumble, and like I said, with this new WWE and TNA partnership, it's like, why not? Why not have TNA talent in the Royal Rumble match this year? I feel like there will be even more TNA talent featured in the Royal Rumble match this year. Masha Slamovich will, in my opinion, make her debut in the Women's Royal Rumble, and she will have a pretty good showing. Just like Jordynne Grace, I feel like both of these women will have a pretty good showing in the Royal Rumble match. Moving on, Charlotte Flair. Now, earlier I predicted that if Charlotte Flair returns, she could win the Royal Rumble, as she returns the same night. So, I mean, we haven't seen Charlotte Flair in a couple of months. She's been out longer than expected. I feel like this is the perfect time to bring Charlotte Flair back. I mean, right before WrestleMania, just in time. So, yeah, man. Moving on, another return, Becky Lynch. You know, have all 3 out of the four horsewomen back on the main roster all at the same time. I can definitely see Becky Lynch making a return at the Royal Rumble. She took time off. You know, she just took time off because she needed it. I think it's time to have Becky Lynch make her return just in time. Like I said, just like Charlotte, just in time for WrestleMania. Have all your women ready, set for WrestleMania. Another talent that I can see making her return is Asuka. We haven't seen Asuka for a while due to injury. Asuka could make her return. I don't see Asuka winning this Royal Rumble matchup though, but I could definitely see her being featured and, you know, having a nice run inside the Royal Rumble match if she returns. Last but not least, Alexa Bliss. It's been forever since we've seen Alexa Bliss, and I can really see her making a return at this year's Royal Rumble. It's really confusing because it's like there's been so many rumors that she's going to be featured with the Wyatt Six, but then again, it's like they already have Nikki Cross in the faction, so it's like you could do Alexa Bliss back involved within the women's division, back in, you know, involved with the women's title and stuff like that. It's very confusing. I don't really have a direction or a prediction of what Alexa Bliss does when she returns back to the WWE, but I can definitely see her making her return at the Royal Rumble match. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this video. I know there's some more matches that could possibly take place at the Royal Rumble. Matches like Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. You know, Sheamus recently beat Ludwig Kaiser on Raw. That could get him a shot at the IC title. So that match could be added on the card in the next couple of weeks. But until then, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I'm going to see y'all later, man. Peace.